Hello, thank you for listening to the webinar on the Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit. This presentation will discuss the process of the toolkit as well as the application process to participate. My name is Courtney Long. I'm a design fellow at the Iowa State University Community Design Lab and the local food team. I'll walk you through the rest of the presentation. Please feel free to call or email me if you have any questions. The Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit is a process and research project with the Iowa State University Community Design Lab. It's been funded through a Marketing and Food Systems Initiative grant through the Leopold Center of Sustainable Agriculture. The CDL has received a second grant to continue the project with the first three pilot communities, Cedar Rapids, Cresco, and Des Moines, and to offer the program to three additional communities in the years 2015 and 2016. The Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit is both a design process and research project to understand tactics of agricultural urbanism. The design process entails community capacity and trust building, research and analysis, and public input, which leads to the prioritization of tactics for implementation. The implementation and design of these tactics occurs within the second year of the design process through quarterly and monthly meetings. The Community Design Lab partners with communities and organizations in an effort to combine local knowledge and design research to create equity and resilience through inclusive, transferable, and innovative strategies and tactics. The CDL primarily focuses on health and wellness, infrastructure and prototypes, and community revitalization. The Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit combines each of these pieces through the connection and design of local food systems. The toolkit is a process that promotes holistic food systems through public interest design that engages with community leaders in an effort to collaborate and connect unique assets of each community. This program identifies agricultural urbanism tactics based on existing physical conditions and community feedback to promote local food system revitalization in communities, also creating dynamic, multifunctional public spaces. The table shown above is a list of 19 tactics that have been researched over the last year. These will be discussed in the following slides. The CDL believes that access to food is a primary right. By combining local knowledge and design, there is an opportunity to build the local and regional food systems to create a healthy, more vibrant, affordable, and connected food system. The Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit is a multi-scope project. In addition to the design process that communities participate in, there was also research conducted on the 19 tactics mentioned previously. As many of you know, a sustainable community food system is made of many pieces and connected through a collaborative network that integrates all aspects from seed to table. This includes food production, processing, distribution, consumption, and waste management. The goal of understanding and designing the entire system is to enhance the environmental, economic, and social health of communities. The 19 tactics, although not yet dealing with waste management, were specifically recognized as different scales and ways to participate in the food system. The booklet of tactics will be available in the near future for public use, and each of the communities that participate in the Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit process are featured within the booklet with their specific best management practices of each tactic. The design process is a multi-year, multi-phase project. The first pilot communities began in 2014 and are just starting their second year of project implementation. For the next several slides, I will walk through the process that the pilot communities have gone through, as well as their outcomes and next steps. During the first year, the primary goal is to build community capacity and trust. This involves connecting local food stakeholders to establish a unified vision for local food system development. Each pilot community has a team lead that helped to establish a core group of local food stakeholders to build a vision of their community food system. This involved the assessment of existing assets and limitations, physical space connections, and dreaming big about the future of their community. We worked with three pilot communities for our first year of the Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit grant: Cedar Rapids, Cresco, and Des Moines. Each of these communities has unique character and established a vision for their food system based on their assets and goals, and established a strategy for forward momentum to guide the following phases of work. Cedar Rapids has progressive policies in place that facilitate local food production and food-based business development. This city will capture the creation of a comprehensive food system plan for the city that can be used for decision-making about zoning, business development, school programs, and other related systems. Cresco has a unique opportunity to be a regional food hub that offers food to city and county residents year-round. Differing from a hub in terms of food distribution, Cresco will be viewed as a community that can eat local year-round. By partnering with local food co-ops, rural producers, and community programs, Cresco will develop a marketing strategy based on growing and eating local. Des Moines is a vibrant city with numerous strong grassroots food initiatives making large strides, particularly in terms of organization, production, and distribution. As we continue to work with Des Moines, we will focus on better connecting these initiatives, creating neighborhood and municipal networks of agricultural urbanism tactics, including community and school gardens, food hubs, and local grocers that both enhance programming and physical infrastructure amenities. Following the vision meeting, the CDL started researching and analyzing physical infrastructure. Understanding the existing conditions in a spatial framework allowed for further connections to be made in terms of social, economical, and environmental concerns and ideas that were discussed in the initial meeting. The mapping study included over 20 maps per community that relayed GIS data information, as well as many other pieces such as food deserts, food accessibility, and transportation routes. With this study, we were able to determine primary nodes within each pilot community that could potentially create the highest impact if tactics were designed and implemented in those particular areas. Each of these maps are compiled and will be available within the full report to the Leopold Center. Overlays can be used to understand where tactics occur in relation to the potential land access. Such as the map of Des Moines to the left, we can see the saturation of tactics downtown. The map of Cedar Rapids to the right confirms that many vacant areas in Cedar Rapids fell within the floodplain. Also during this time frame, the CDL began researching various tactics of agricultural urbanism. This included case studies, literature review, and personal interviews. Within each pilot community, several members of the community that were affiliated with tactics of agricultural urbanism were interviewed and have been listed as partners within the tactic booklet. This slide showcases two of the 20 maps that were generated for Cedar Rapids. The maps to the left identify the image on the left showcases the areas of trails, lakes, public space and parks. In addition, rivers, it reveals and other physical infrastructure that connects people throughout the city. The second map shows vacant lots in red. The image to the right dilapidated properties showcases vacant lots that could be utilized in terms of vacant lot revitalization for local food systems. By combining all of these layers of information from the mapping analysis, we generated several nodes within Cedar Rapids that could affect low-income, low-access areas as well as connect to other assets or gaps identified. On the left are images that were taken during the interviews with residents that are participating in the food system. This includes Viola Gibson Elementary School, Matthew 25 Urban Farm, the Nubo City Market, and Shared Use Kitchen, as well as the Garden of Hope. Cresco is interested in a regional approach to their food system. We developed maps at both a regional scale with several counties for analysis, as well as for the city of Cresco. These particular maps are detailing public space and natural resources that exist, as well as the major roads within the area. Through an overlay of each of the mapping studies, we generated several areas within the region that could assist in creating regional access to food. On the left are a few examples of existing businesses that already have a regional scope. Seed Savers Exchange, Norman Borlaug Farm, and the Iowa Food Hub. Once again, these maps for Des Moines are showcasing physical recreation space as well as the city fabric and road system. To the right is an example of an overlay of mapping analysis that includes low-income and low-access areas. By overlapping these spaces, we begin to understand which areas could be connected to public space to include additional opportunities for food access. The nodes of opportunity begin to show specific neighborhoods in Des Moines that were in food deserts or that were abundantly supplied with access to food. The proposed strategy included particular enhancement of a series of neighborhoods or connectivity around the entire city. To the upper right, the Viva East Bank neighborhood is shown as it was determined a priority area. To the left are examples of residents and organizations representing best management practices in Des Moines. These include the Wallace House of Iowa, Central Iowa Shelter Services, both their shared use kitchen and their food dome, the Forest Avenue Outreach Community Garden, and the Faith and Grace Garden. After the mapping meetings in each community, the communities determined dates to host a public open house. Included 16 research boards of tactics and a 9 foot by 9 foot map of each community. In the case of Cresco and Des Moines, there were two areas of study. As shown, Cresco looked at both the town of Cresco as well as the 4 counties adjacent to their community. And Des Moines focused on Viva East Bank, a coalition of 3 neighborhoods in the entire city. Northeast Des Moines, as well as the entire city. Each open house was set up as a salon style. Come and go as you please. Tactic posters are color-coded with a coordinating sticker and postcard. If individuals were interested in a particular tactic and had ideas of where they could be located, they would fill out a postcard with information on where and why they would locate it. For instance, if I think a community garden should be located at the corner of First and Cherry Street, I would place my pink sticker there and fill out the card to state where and why I placed it there. I think it's a great location. After each community open house, the postcards were combined into a list of tactics and comments for the steering committee to review. The last phase of year 1 is to determine the priority tactics for implementation based on the vision, research, and community input. The tactic list generated from the open house was used to help rank the importance of each tactic. Primary considerations for prioritization included impact, accessibility, visibility, and time frame for completion. Each community ended up determining 5 tactics that had the most impact and could be implemented in various stages. Cedar Rapids determined 5 tactics. An awareness campaign with Feed Iowa First that will involve building the coalition within 3 areas: gardening sites, beginning farmers, and aggregators to take produce to food banks. Second, a public edible landscape with partnership with Co College that will be working to design a master plan for Co that incorporates edible landscapes and gardens around their campus. Third, an urban orchard with the program BIG, which is a high school entrepreneurial program, will be creating an urban orchard at Knoll Ridge Park. Their medium-term goal is to establish a shared-use kitchen, which we are currently brainstorming and figuring out site assessment. Our current partners include Horizons and Nubo Market. The second piece to this tactic will be to design and implement a new garden at Horizons, which produce will be taken into the kitchen for nutritional classes. The last 2 programs the last program is for an urban farm, which is the second project with the program BIG. Students are working with an old county zoo in partnership with the City Parks and Rec Department to design a revitalized educational center and farm. We will be assisting in the design and creation of the programming. Cresco has generated goals based on short-term, middle-of-the-road, and long-term implementation. An awareness campaign will be established through the creation of a values survey to understand the desires and wants from the community in terms of gardening programs with Extension and other organizations. Public edible landscape will involve connecting with the Parks Department in Cresco to plant edible fruit trees around town. A second awareness and marketing campaign for the existing food box program will involve connecting to work sites in an effort to showcase the opportunity of buying in bulk for local producers. middle-of-the-road goal includes the assessment and feasibility study of a school garden and faith garden partnership. The long-term goals include the Norman Borlaug Farm with a generation and expansion design project that includes educational programming for numerous areas on the property, as well as food-based production. An analysis, study, and design strategies for a vacant building reuse in Cresco for both an indoor farm, public market, or a shared-use kitchen. Last, the goal is to find funding for a local food coordinator as a long-term goal for this region in order to help with the facilitation of educational programming and project management around these tactics. Similar to Cresco and Cedar Rapids, Des Moines established goals based on short, medium, and long-term implementation. These include an Eat Greater Des Moines local food system awareness campaign, which will involve social media, website, and brochure marketing of the interconnected activities around Des Moines. A manual and workshop series that will first focus on backyard and community gardening with a lens on design and cost benefit for users. 3 sites will be assessed for public edible landscapes in Viva East Bank, all of which are along an existing bike path. A food box, food hub, aggregation, distribution analysis will be an extension of a current programming study for the Des Moines Food Box program. And last, an analysis and design strategies for an urban farm in Viva East Bank or City of Des Moines. This will involve business development and strategic assessment of sites for implementation. During the second year, we will begin moving toward implementation of the priority tactics. The first meeting of the second year identifies partners for each tactic and sets up tactic groups that meet monthly to accomplish the goals. The CDL is involved in each of these tactics and meets with communities by phone or in person depending on the deliverables for each meeting. In addition, the group reconvenes every quarter to discuss their forward movement and potential collaborations as a group. The CDL continues to be a facilitator of these meetings and helps to establish the design role for programming of the tactics. As mentioned, the second year will move the prioritized tactics into implementation. These can include short, medium, and long-term goals that have high impact chosen by the committee. Throughout the year, the CDL will work with the steering committee to implement these tactics. As shown, these tactics can include gardens, urban farms, marketing plans, and business plans. The third year will continue to work toward long-term implementation as well as new opportunities for success seen from the second year. Similar to the second year, project implementation can take on many forms depending on the needs of the community in the third year. So, if you're ready to become an agricultural urbanism community, here is the exciting nitty-gritty details of our partnership. The fee for participation is $2,000 per year for 2 years if you begin in 2015, with negotiated prices for the third year of partnership. If you become a partner community in 2016, the fee for participation is increased to $5,000 per year for 2 years, with negotiations for third year implementation. In addition, it is required for each community to submit their steering committee members within the partnership application. The steering committee must include at least 1 government partner, 1 local producer, and 1 local food system stakeholder. This stakeholder can be involved as a local food coordinator, ISU field extension staff, or someone affiliated with the Regional Food System Working Group or Iowa Food System Working Group. Other members of the community may include city or county planners, public health professionals, business owners, economic development staff, and other active community members. It is critical to combine a holistic group of leaders for the community that can support and drive the vision forward. The communities receive several different things from participating in the toolkit. You'll receive a copy of the Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit booklet with handouts on all of the agricultural urbanism tactics. The steering committee will also receive annual and quarterly reports detailing next steps for project development. The second year, communities will receive design documentation of each proposed tactic and implementation strategies. This will also involve grant writing assistance and guidance to continue to move forward local food system development in each community. The CDL will contribute in several different ways. Our services include design support, facilitation and staff support, including travel expenses. This also includes design services and costs associated with production of design products, coordinating and recording requirements for the Marketing and Food Systems Initiative grant, providing program coordination and content, coordinating communication with local stakeholders, directing the production of research and analysis plans which build into the conceptual design strategies of tactics, identifying potential funding sources, as well as providing reporting materials for events and meetings. The partner community, in addition to establishing the steering committee and providing a fee, will determine a lead person for contact regarding the agricultural urbanism toolkit process. They will commit to attending 4 steering committee meetings in person for the first and second year, as well as commit to participate in at least 1 tactic team meeting in the second year per month via phone, Skype, or in person. Each year, the community will host an open house for public engagement and generate partnerships and community capacity. They will closely work with the CDL to advertise meetings and will maintain an active role to foster community participation. Each year of the toolkit, the community partners will also attend the Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit annual event to share their successes and challenges and gather insight from additional communities represented. Thank you for listening to this webinar about the design, process, and research of the Agricultural Urbanism Toolkit, as well as the application process to participate in the toolkit this year. Please do not hesitate to call or email me if you have questions. We are very excited to continue this work to build healthy, vibrant, local food systems around our state, and are looking forward to hearing from you about your ideas for your community. Applications are due April 1st, and you will be notified May 1st of your acceptance to the program. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.